Hi everyone and welcome back to today's morning report on Tuesday the 14th of July with me, Richard Perry, market analyst at Handtech Markets. Looking at cable now for sterling dollar, and we've just had the UK inflation data out and it's basically come in line with expectations. Slight dip back towards flat from 0.1% positive back towards 0.0 on the year-on-year data. Very slight dip back towards 0.8% on the core CPI as well. The impact that's had on cable, not a massive amount really, basically nothing. Sort of mixed and flying around a little bit, but in terms of the subsequent sort of 5 minutes since that data, basically no real move. Now, in terms of technicals, we had this, so disappointing, we had this sort of downtrend that was breaking yesterday. It actually had a move up towards resistance at 55.88, I think it was. Yeah, 55.88 yesterday. And then it was trading positive for most of the day, and then suddenly it just, into the afternoon and into the evening, it just sold off and then closed almost at the low of the day. So a really disappointing candle that for the bulls. You'd still argue that you've got that stochastics buy signal that has now confirmed there, and also the MACD line's around neutral. But it was that was a really disappointing move for me. Now looking at the this is the hourly chart. We've had a bit of flying around again today because you had a correction back towards this support of the 61.8% fib level around about 54.70 area. That was holding early on. Actually broke lower very early in the European session today. Sort of consolidated since then. It hasn't really confirmed that breakdown yet, so I'm not getting too worried about it. But if you did see that cable trading clear of that 54.70 old support, that would arguably complete a little top pattern as well. That would arguably again give you a downside target of sort of about 120 ticks and back towards sort of like 53.50 area, which is actually towards these lows again. 53.40 was that sort of key low that we had on the 9th intraday. So it could that basically just unwinds all that strong move that we've had in the last sort of 2 or 3 days, and would be completely sort of retracing all of that move. In terms of where we're at absolutely now, we're pretty much fairly neutral, I think, on these momentum indicators. Still just drifting a little bit lower actually. Just sort of, there is a slightly bearish tilt because of the fact that you're breaking, and I would use that word again, breaking the support at 54.70. Hasn't completely been broken yet, but I'd say that is obviously under real pressure. I mean, it's trading back below it again. Cable's been sort of bit mixed since that inflation data, so if it goes back below that initial support at 54, is it 50? Yeah, 54.50 was that low just an hour or so ago. If you're back below that, that is again at that old key sort of level back from the daily chart. That's 54.50 there, although it says 38. This is, it's 54.50 basically. It's around about that sort of key level that we're looking out for. So interestingly enough, that is where we've sort of turned higher from today. So if you start to see consistently below that, I think you're going to get a retracement, probably a full retracement back towards these lows again. Initial support coming in again at 54.20 being that breakout high, but to be honest, I think it would be a full retracement if that were to be seen. Anyway, in terms of sort of reversing this move, you'd certainly want to see a day high. 54.95 would be a day high above that on the hourly chart, and then obviously hoping for a move back towards 55.88. But to be honest, at the moment, it looks like the downside pressure is beginning to grow again on cable, and the fact that we had such a disappointing trading day yesterday just leaves me a little bit cold on cable at the moment, and a bit disappointed in the bulls. But anyway, I wish you good luck in your trading today, and I will speak to you later.